The Capitol rotunda is closed right now, so Mr. Bush's casket can be taken to the site of this morning's funeral. The funeral procession will travel about 5 miles from the east front of the Capitol to Washington National Cathedral. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill waiting for the motorcade to begin. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. You know, we all saw that glorious sunset the other day as Mr. Bush's casket was carried up the steps of the Capitol. Well, a little later this morning, the Bush family will return as the casket is carried back down. There will be a 21-gun salute. A band will be playing "Hail to the Chief," and then the casket will be loaded into a hearse and transported across the city to the National Cathedral. Last night, the Bush family was here to visit the casket once more and thank mourners who were paying their respects to their father. We saw President George W. Bush smiling and laughing as he spoke to some of the thousands of people who waited in line. He even picked up a baby from a woman in the crowd at one point, holding on to it for a few moments. We saw so many other dignitaries and just regular Americans walk through the Capitol rotunda yesterday, including some of the people who were beneficiaries of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which Mr. Bush signed into law. And then there was that iconic moment when former Senator Bob Dole, age 95, came into the rotunda and was helped out of his wheelchair, helped to salute his longtime friend and fellow member of the greatest generation. I had a chance to speak with Neil Bush, President Bush's son, yesterday. He said that one of the reasons he's come back to this rotunda several times to visit with everyday Americans in line is because he just wanted to give them a hug, tell them not to have such long faces, John, because he himself isn't in mourning. He's in celebration, he said, of a long life well lived.
Nancy, thank you. That's right. The Bush family priding themselves on their closeness, but also they move on and celebrate. Not a lot of long time with mourning and sadness, but in celebration. CBS News will bring you live coverage of the funeral for President George Herbert Walker Bush. Our special report begins at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central, here on CBS.